Hello, these are questions 1 to 5 from the Foundation Paper 1 in May 2024. Question 1 asks us to write the number 18,475 correct to the nearest thousand. Question 2 asks us to write 0.3 as a percentage. Question 3 asks us to write down the mathematical name for the type of angle marked Y. Question 4 asks us to write the numbers in order of size and starting with the smallest. And question 5 asks us to find the square root of 64. Pause the video, attempt to answer the questions, return to play the video to see the solutions and where the marks are awarded. Welcome back. Question 1 asks us to write the number 18,475 correct to the nearest thousand. We know we've got 18,000 and we're looking at the digit 4 to tell us whether we round down to 18,000 or up to 19,000. The 4 tells us we have not reached the halfway point of 500 because we've only got 400. So we are going to round down to 18,000. Question 2 asks us to write 0.3 as a percentage. You may prefer converting to a fraction. If you do, you would get 3/10. And then you would need to find an equivalent fraction out of 100 to be able to easily convert to a percentage. So if you did that, we would times 10 top and bottom and find we've got 30 out of 100, which means 30%. Question 3 asks us to write down the mathematical name for the type of angle marked Y. And this is a reflex angle. This is because it is more than 180. We can see that if we carried on with this straight line, the angle goes through that 180 and goes further round. Question 4 asks us to write these numbers in order of size and start with the smallest. When ordering these decimals, you may find it easier to make sure that all of the numbers have the same number of decimal places. And we do this by popping a 0 on the end of the ones that aren't quite as long. This won't change the value of the number, but it helps us visualise what's happening. We can now order them. I can see this 0.03 is the smallest. 0.1 comes next. 0.16 is next. Then 0.2. And finally 0.21. Question 5 asks us to find the square root of 64. When we find the square root of a number, we're trying to think of what number do we times to itself to give us an answer of 64. And I know that we times 8 to itself. And so the square root of 64 is 8. These are all worth 1 mark. And so you get that mark for giving the answers of 18,000, 30%, reflex, and then here the correct order 0.03, 0.1, 0.16, 0.2 and 0.21, and finally 8. They will also accept an answer of -8 here, as -8 times -8 is also 64.